Yes, I joined Nexus Minerals over 10 years ago, and at that time, the company was had some cash available in the company, but didn't have any meaningful projects, or had a few older ones that needed to be gotten out of. So I undertook a full review of the WA goldfields, which was where the board and myself had decided that Nexus really wanted to be moving forwards. And then really it was all about looking at the geology, looking at the regional structural settings. Where do we think it's underexplored? Where are some areas that we thought we could add value with the work that we did? And that was how I ultimately determined that the Wallbrook region, for a number of fronts, but certainly the structural setting, the regional geology setting, the fact that there was fantastic geology. The Carosue Dam operation had been operating for sort of over 20 years at that point. So, and the porphyry mining district was in the same region as well. So really it was a case of all of those factors, and adding in the fact that, multi-million ounces were in the region, and this particular package of rocks had been really, really underexplored. So almost no work done on it, even though surrounding it and in the district there was, like I said, multi-million ounces of gold. So it seemed to be a great opportunity. So I ended up talking to the current then owner, Saracen, now Northern Star, Newmont, multiple other parties that had bits and pieces in the region, and really brought the whole thing together into one big package. Because really, to explore meaningfully, you need a big and a decent regional sort of package of rocks, which is what we wanted. So, I ultimately ended up pulling together nearly 200 square kilometres. Predominantly, the core of it was already on granted mining tenure, which just was a gigantic advantage and continues to be. And so that's what brought it all together, and that's where we still sit today. So it's a fantastic package of rocks. The regional deposits around Wallbrook all have very much the similar elements, from Carosue Dam, 35 kilometres to the south, right through to the porphyry mining district, which abuts the Nexus tenure to the north. So, the structural, the regional setting is very much at a large regional scale is very, very similar. We've had these intrusion of these high-level porphyry rocks have pushed up into the existing rocks. Then we've had alteration fluids coming through, and that's created and dropped out the gold. So all of the deposits are very similar at a larger scale. And I suppose at a micro scale, they do differ. Some are more related directly inside the intrusions. Some are there's been a structural setting and an emplacement or a rheological contact, which has allowed the gold to drop out. So as a region, they're all tied together by that one similar sort of methodology in how the gold was brought into the system. And certainly the work we're doing is showing that it's very much the same. I'd say the work doesn't differ in as much as it's the learnings from the Crusader Templar drilling and the style of mineralisation that we're seeing there that aids us in what we're looking at more regionally now. Obviously the 18 months worth of air core drilling that we've done has brought forward the Clement, Payns and Branches prospects to this point in time, when we're now ready to do the mineral resource estimate drilling. So it's very much around, we've had a lot of success through those three prospect areas. But again, a lot of them have been, I suppose, individual drill hole results, which obviously we've announced to the market, but very much around, but how do they all tie together? How do you pull together all of those one by one drill holes, X number of meters at great grams, which we've had. And now it's a matter of selecting the best three, which is what we've done. And now we've spent the last sort of 3 months working with our competent person to pull together with our team this drill program. So everything around the drilling that we do at Clement, Payns and Branches is very much focused on mineral resource estimate drilling. So if we can't sort of tie it into that, and if it doesn't look like it'll pull together into that sort of resource work, well, then it's been excluded. So very happy with what we've seen to date at the main three prospect areas. There are others that we're working up in the background, but they need a little bit more work done on them yet before they can be considered for mineral resource estimate drilling. So it's very much around 100% focused on that. And Crusader Templar as well, there's a small amount of drilling that we want to do there as well. And there's sort of some extensional drilling, particularly on the eastern side, and it sort of moves over towards the Clement drilling. So there's a little bit more at Crusader Templar we want to do as well to tidy that up, and then ultimately culminating in a mineral resource estimate for the Wallbrook project later in 2026. So really excited to have kicked this off, and it's going to be a busy period of time ahead. We've obviously notified and spoken to the market for a period of time now around a mining operation at Crusader Templar in the first instance, and that continues. So we've been working our way through the permitting processes, which are extensive and convoluted at times, but we continue to press through those, and they're working quite well. So we're just ticking those off, and it's all about operational readiness. So at the moment, that's the main commercialization focus, is a mining operation at Crusader Templar. We're still having discussions with operational partners, toll treatment / treatment options at third-party mills, and that continues. So that's also been a significant part of what the team's been busy with at the same time. And of course, as we can tell more to the market, we certainly will. But it's, like I said, very, very busy time for Nexus at the moment.